Hello everybody, Epic Mewtwo here. We are back for another Dragon Ball Legends video. I have been having a blast playing this game. I've been enjoying it frankly a lot more than I thought I was going to. Even with the little amount of content that we have in the game so far. It's been a ton of fun playing this game. I know a lot of you guys have been enjoying a lot of playing the game as well and seeing videos on it and stuff. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a video on the easiest way to kind of level up your units, because I'm actually going through this process myself right now. Because on PvP, you get utterly destroyed if your units aren't max level. You don't even have a chance, even if you're pretty good at the game. Real quick, I do want to show you guys, this is the account I ended up using. Because I know you guys saw last time I was re-rolling a bunch of stuff, and that was kind of the last Legends video I made. And I just kind of wanted to show you guys the account I'm rocking on this reroll I got. So on this particular reroll, I got the Super Saiyan Goku and the Piccolo on the same multi, which was pretty dope. And then I pulled the Pan off of a single later. So this account is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I do really want to get Pycon, just because I really want him. He's just really cool. I'll scroll through here just so you can see the rest of the characters that I have. But everything that I have in terms of my best units are at the top here. My squad, of course, is the 3 SP units that I have. Charlotte and the Extreme Goku that you get in the tutorial, as well as an Extreme TN that I pulled. This Goku's looking pretty fresh. Their shop is finally open for the game, which we're not going to do that right now. We're going to hop into how to level up your units. But I might do a video on the shop just because it's kind of interesting. But either way, just wanted to show you guys the account I ended up with, because I know that some of you might have wanted to see what I ended up with. But anyway, guys, here is what we are going to do, right? So like I said, obviously, if your units are not max level, which if you're not aware is 300 in this game, you kind of get utterly destroyed in PvP, even with their system here. Actually, real quick, before we hop into this, I'll actually show you. Their system of kind of like showing where you are is, as you can see, my scouter level here is 100,000 or 103,000, excuse me, 871, and they try and match you up with kind of a level around the same thing. But sometimes, just because, you know, either if it's not enough people online, or, you know, there's so many people playing that they can't match you up with someone you know, of your own rank. I've only been doing casual, by the way. That's why I have no rating match rank. But you get utterly destroyed. So you want your units all at max level, right? As you can see, mine are pretty high right here. But how I have gone about doing this, and this was actually shown to me by my buddy Dr. Love 307, another fellow YouTuber in the Dragon Ball verse, so shout out to my boy. He recommended that you should do the final stage here, because you gain pretty much at least 3 levels per run, which technically this is the final stage of the story, chapter 5 here, because this one, we'll click on it here and I'll show you what it's all about. It's literally just story. I won't go over any spoilers just in case you don't want to be spoiled. Beerus and Whis there. I assume you've probably beaten the story by now, because the game has been out for a hot minute now. But that is just story. So we have to do the technically second to last story stage. And this stage where you fight the 2 apples, and I forget what this guy's name is. It might be Blueberry. But either way, you rock the squad that you want to train, right? Start the battle. It does use 1 energy. You can always use a Chrono Crystal to get that back up, though. And we are, for the sake of the video, just going to use my most powerful units. By the way, if you're new to Dragon Ball Legends, the kind of rarity system goes Hero, Extreme, and then Sparking. You can think of it as Rare, SR, and then SSR. It's abbreviated as HE, EX, and SP. Either way, though, we're going to hop in here. And then we're going to do this battle, and I'll show you how much XP we get from this. As well, too, this is nice to complete all of the missions and get all of the Chrono Crystals. Ooh, unfortunately, we don't have any Dragon Ball ones out yet. Ooh, yes, we do now. So you want to go for, I know you guys probably know this already, but I'll just say it because I'm going in here. You want to go for the cards that have the Dragon Ball on them, just because then you can eventually get your Rising attack or whatever it's called. Ooh, okay, Apple hit us there. It's hard to commentate and play a fighting game at the same time. I've learned that from playing multiple fighting games on my other channel in the past. It's not the most easy thing to do. By the way, it is really difficult though when you kind of have like a bunch of cards that don't have Dragon Balls, and you're trying to fill up the Dragon Ball meter, because then, you know, you don't want to use those because they don't have the Dragon Balls, but you also have to use them to get more slots available for the ones with the Dragon Balls to come out. So that's all, you know, shenanigans there. But anyway, okay, cool. So this is another thing too that's in Legends that I really like. When you use a character a lot, you get a friendship level up and you get a Chrono Crystal, or 2 actually, forgetting that. So as you can see here, my character's all leveled up a bit. Goku's now 220, Piccolo's 205, and Pan is 204. Even your units that don't fight still get leveled up a little bit, so that's pretty cool. As you can see, I've completed all of this, but if you know you need to go through your missions and do this as well while you're training your characters, that's pretty helpful as well. So we're going to do this one more time just so we can kind of exemplify the point a little bit more. And then I'll show you another way that you can also train your characters up. That you can't grind as hard because it is time limited, but I'll show you it anyway. So let's hop in here and let's note this time the levels, because I kind of wasn't noting it in my head. But let's note the levels that all of our characters are at, right? So Goku's at 220, Piccolo's at 205, and Pan is at 204. By the way, I'm using Goku exclusively because he is super effective against the first enemy that pops up here. So it's just kind of easier to take them out that way. I was using Piccolo because I need to level him up a little bit more than Goku, obviously, as you can see. But he's weak to the first enemy, so I was like, you know what, whatever. Also, excuse me, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm burping up. I haven't even eaten anything today. Alright, so let's hit that, hit that. So here's what I'm talking about, right? You got 2 card slots that are filled by ones that don't have a Dragon Ball on them. And then you kind of just have to get rid of them, because look, now there's only 1 empty slot that we can get a Dragon Ball, or a card with a Dragon Ball attached to it. So I'm just going to use a couple that don't have one. We probably won't even get a Rising Rush in here, just because this event gets so easy. Ooh, I got hit here. This event gets so easy that you honestly, like, most of the time won't even get your specials out unless you just kind of do it quickly. Here we might get it. Yeah, okay, we're gonna get it here. So that's pretty cool. Sometimes, oh, okay, maybe we're not. Sometimes you just kind of beat him so fast, you know, that won't really happen in PvP, but in the story mode, obviously, since it's so easy, you know, you just kind of get it naturally. Alright, so as you can see, Goku went from 220 to 224. Pan went from 203 to 208, and Piccolo went from 205, I think he was, to 209. So as you can see, our characters are leveling up a fair amount. You know, you're still kind of, you know, it's still a bit of a grind to get there, but at least it's a couple levels guaranteed each time. As well, obviously, you can see these guys are leveling up quite a decent amount as well, even though they're not even in the battle. Of course, when they're in the battle, they get more XP, but since these guys are lower, you know, lower level, they're getting, you know, a bigger boost from the lower amount of XP. That's how just natural video game shenanigans work. I say shenanigans a lot, but I just really like the word. So that's how you level up your characters the grindy way, and that would honestly be the way I recommend if you want to get your characters to max level quickly. That is what I'm going to do. But the other thing that you can do is the training mode. Now, I have not gotten any of the limited time training stuff, so I cannot go over that for you, unfortunately. But I can show you this. So as you can see, we got one character in training right now. Basically, this is the EXP training stage. So from doing just random stuff in the game, you know, whether it's missions or whatnot, you get different kinds of training items, which is this brown one here. I forget what it's actually called. Training weights, okay, so it's 200 kilograms, and then this one is just training weights, 100 kilograms, but I'll just call it the red one and the brown one just because it's easier. As well, this stage here is just a training stage where you don't need any item to do it, but here's the catch, right? So as you can see, these all take different amounts of time. If you're only using one training weight, it's 30 minutes. If you're using 2, it's 1 hour, and then for using 3, it's an hour and 30 minutes. Of course, though, if you do the bigger one, you're getting more of an EXP boost. That just kind of makes sense, right? And then with these, obviously, the same thing goes here. You know, you are getting a little bit more XP from these because obviously the training weights are heavier, but it's the same amount of time for each, which is still pretty cool. But this one is actually 3 hours. I know it only says an hour and about 50 minutes right now, but that's because I've had it chilling for a while. As you can see there, it's 3 hours. But this one is free to do, and of course gives you the lowest amount of XP out of all these because you're not using an item, but I would still recommend it, right? You can use a Chrono Crystal, I think, or maybe you can't, to actually finish it up. I don't know if you can. I thought you could do that in the demo, but I don't see a button for it here. I know if you click quit training, it just stops, and then you get partial amount of the XP, right? So you obviously, I'm not going to do that for Goku here, but I will throw one of my units in the EXP chamber. Let's put Pan in there, right? Alright, so begin training. So it does tell you how many levels she's going to grow, which is pretty cool. As well, the other nice thing that I really like about this game too, is that if you play missions and the characters level up in the missions, it'll basically take that into account, and then it will level up the character based on that. So as you can see right now, Pan is 208, and it said she was going to get to level 220, right? So it'll actually take it, if you go in, I'll actually show you guys real quick, since it's easy to kind of do this mission here. We can take on an event, and then obviously we can still level her up while the training mode is still leveling her up in the background, and it will build off of the number, at least as far as I've understood it. It'll build off of the number that Pan is going to be, or the level, excuse me, that Pan is going to be after we complete this stage. So that's pretty cool. So you can still grind XP and not have to worry about wasting items in the training mode in the background, which is pretty dope. I really like how they did the training in this game. Although what is weird is I really do remember from the beta there being a way to, you know, kind of skip through the waiting time on the training. You know, that's kind of like a mobile game staple, skipping through waiting times with paid currency. But I don't see it here, which is really weird. I don't know if they took it out or if it's not going to be in the game at all, but I really do remember that from the beta, so I don't know. Maybe they took it out in the final game and you just gotta wait. Maybe they'll implement it later. I don't know. It is, you know, still early in this game's lifespan. It literally just came out, like, what, maybe a month ago now? Something like that. So we are going to beat this stage real quick. And I'll show you here that... So we got the clear, right? So Pan is now level 211, right? So obviously, we don't want, you know, we obviously don't want, you know, it could only go to 211 to 220, so it should take into account now that level here. So let's look at the training, right? So it's going to show you, so right, so see, now she's going to be level 223, so it does boost it up a little bit, as you can see, when the character obviously gets some XP outside of the training mode. So I really do like that about this game. They did a fantastic thing with the training there. Now, one thing I do want you to keep in mind with training real quick, and then we'll hop out of the video, is that once you are doing training with a character, they can't participate in adventure mode. They don't, like, leave your account or anything. Obviously, you just saw I used Pan in that event. I didn't fight with her, but she was, you know, in the event. I just used Goku the whole time. But you can still use her in events, but you cannot use her in the adventure mode. So we cannot do, I don't have any jobs for the adventure mode right now. Maybe I'll go over the adventure mode in another video. But basically, adventure mode is just how you get, like, extra like rewards and stuff. You play PvP, even the casual PvP matches, and then it gives you some stuff to do in the adventure mode. But once a character is in the training mode and they're going through, you know, the training regiment like Pan is right now, you can't use them in the adventure mode until they get out of the training mode. So just keep that in mind. If you want a character, you know, to be in training mode and then you try and use them eventually, you're like, oh no, why can't I use them? That's why you just gotta wait for the training to be over. As well, with adventure mode, some of the characters are, like, quote-unquote super effective on the adventure, even though it's, like, a thing that technically happens off-screen, but it just gives you more rewards, I guess. I'm not really sure. It basically just says that the type is better for the adventure, so I just tend to use that type. Either way, though, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed either way. I'm having a ton of fun with Dragon Ball Legends, and I know you guys are too. I've done some summons kind of off camera / on Twitter, trying to get that Pycon, so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll make a video about the shop as well, we'll see. But either way, though, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Epic You 2 out. Peace.